Today I'm going to walk you through how to set up automation for any indicator in TradingView. Now, I should say any indicator within reason. If the indicator allows for an alert to be set, then I can show you how when that alert is triggered and fired, you can automate that so trades are taken where you enter and exit without being at the computer and it runs all day long. In order to do this, I'm going to be using a website called TradersPost. Now, with that being said, TradersPost is kind of like a band aid solution because I'm building out Ghost, which is an automated trading bot from QuantCrawler.com. If you guys aren't members of QuantCrawler.com, you get a free 30-day trial and then it's $9.99 a month after that. QuantCrawler.com takes 3 charts of any time frame. Most common are the 15-minute, 5-minute, and 1-minute, runs it through AI analysis, comes back to our framework, and that framework then gives you an output for direction. Should you go long or short? What should your entry price be? Should it be a market or a limit order waiting for a pullback, or just go in now? It'll tell you where your stop loss should be, where your take profit should be, and it will also run off of a fixed dollar figure. If you want to risk $200 to make $400, it will do that for you and tell you where you should enter and where you should exit. Now, the reason I'm building Ghost is because nobody has really bridged the gap between AI automation for analysis when it comes to day trading or just trading in general with an automated bot. There are companies that do one or the other, but not companies that do both. So, to my knowledge, Ghost is the first of its kind. Once you turn on Ghost and you click activate, it will immediately start the analysis, get those details from AI, send it to our framework, send it back to Ghost with all of the signals from the chart based on your selection and the analysis output that QuantCrawler gives you. And then Ghost will execute that trade around the clock, 23 hours a day, 5 days a week for futures, or 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for crypto. Again, to my knowledge, it's the first of its kind. Some companies do AI analysis, some companies do trading bots, but nobody does both. Ghost does both. If you guys aren't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Now, let's get over to the charts and let me show you how you can use TradersPost as a temporary band-aid until Ghost comes out to set up your around-the-clock market automations so you never miss a trade. So here's the first thing we're going to do. I'm not going to walk you through getting logged into TradingView. I am assuming you can do that part on your own. But is what we're going to do is we get logged into TradingView and then we come over to one of our charts. It doesn't even matter. Just go to any chart. You can replicate what I'm about to do with any ticker, whether it's stocks, options, forex, futures, anything you want. You can set an alert like this with any indicator that allows for alerts to be set. Now, keep this in mind. Some indicators don't have alerts built into them. If it doesn't have an alert, that indicator is not going to work properly with what we're setting up right now. But there's too many variables on that right there to dive too far into it and waste our time talking about it. If your indicator doesn't have a custom alert programmed into it, it won't work for this setting. You'll need to find a different indicator that will. So when you first get access to the bulletproof indicator through quantcrawler.com, you want to come up here to indicators. All you do is come up here and click this button right here. And is what you see is this on the left hand side. You then want to go to invite only because this is a private invite only script. So once you click this, it looks like this right here, QuantCrawler Bulletproof Scalper version 1.0. You then want to click the star to add it to favorites, which will make this a little bit easier. But since I only have one indicator on here, there's not a lot of clutter. But if you had a bunch right here, this will add it to this favorites tab right here. All you need to do in either invite only or favorites is just simply click this right here and it will add it to your chart. As you can see, it just did behind me. Now, I'm not going to change anything about the settings on Bulletproof because I'm just going to go through the setup of this, but you could come in here and change these to conservative. And if you look at conservative and change this, nothing, it's very conservative. So I don't know anybody who's actually running it on that, but this takes 3 to 5 trades a week when it's in this mode. That's it per week. Now, I run everything on balanced. And as you guys can see in our Discord with the announcements page, we're up $2,500 this week setting an automation on the 6 main tickers for futures. And I have it just like this, balanced, and that's it. I didn't change anything else about any of these settings. I literally came in, added the indicator, it defaults to balance, and I started setting my alerts. So at this point, we've logged into TradingView. We've found the bulletproof indicator under indicators and invite only. We've favorited it and we've clicked it to add it to our chart. Right here, The indicator is on your chart for any chart you go to. If you change this over to MES, the indicator just simply stays with you and marks these out. So I'm going to leave this on MNQ, and this is where we're going to be setting our alerts today. But right now, let's hop over to TradersPost, and I will show you how you start working on your automations. So I already have an account with TradersPost, and I made a note on this in my last video and also in our Discord that TradersPost is a temporary solution to a longer problem, or a bigger problem, I should say. And that bigger problem is being fixed with Ghost. So when you come in here to pricing, TradersPost has a cost associated with it. I went with the basic plan. You don't need that. It's this number right here that you want to look at. It depends on if you're trading prop firms and how many accounts you want to trade. All accounts, even if they are funded accounts, technically in Traders Post are a paper account because you are not actually in a live mode. You are, no matter what, even on funded accounts, you are still in a simulated environment. So if you only have 4 accounts you want to trade or less than 4, starter is good. And I believe you get a trial. I'm already logged in and signed up, so I don't think I see anything related to a trial. Again, temporary solution until Ghost comes out to lifetime members on February 1, or everybody else it rolls out on March 1st. So once you sign up, create your account, and you get logged in, you're going to come over to your dashboard and it's going to look like this. I have 2 accounts here linked, and I'm going to show you how to get your account set up right now as well. On the left-hand side, you see a couple of different columns over here, and there's a tab right here called Brokers. You want to click into this. My screen shows you this, but yours, the first time without any connections, will look like this. So within Traders Post, you can connect all of these brokers right here. You can also scroll down and see prop firms. You can connect any of these prop firms as well through Traders Post. I will have the ability to have all of these synced with Ghost as well, but not at launch. At launch, I will have integrations with Tradeovate and Project X. So you essentially will be able to trade anybody whose trading platform backs by Tradeovate. And Project X is exclusively Top Step going forward. So you can automate your Top Step trading and anybody who uses Tradeovate. There's a bunch of prop firms. I can't list them all. But when you log in, if you are executing your trades through Tradeovate, you will have the ability to use that through Ghost. So you want to select whichever one you have here and then enter in your login credentials, and then it will populate all of your accounts once you actually put in your credentials and log in. I, for this example, would just click Traders Post Paper, which I already have that account set up, but it's very simple. Once I click this, it automatically loads into my broker account and I'm good to go. So that's why over here you see this. I connected Alpaca because I've been testing crypto and Traders Post Paper. Alpaca doesn't work that well, by the way. So if we want to get an alert set on MNQ to basically when this signal prints right here would send your alert that this signal has fired, and then this would communicate with Traders Post, and Traders Post would execute a trade on this account on your behalf, and it will run all the way until these exit signals fire. And then it will send through the webhook we're going to create back to Traders Post to exit you out of the trade, maintaining your account. In order to do that, we have to set up a strategy and a subscription on this left-hand side. So is where you want to start is strategies. When you get into the strategies tab, yours will look like this since you have no strategies set. All you want to do, as you would imagine, is simply click this new strategy button. Here at the top in details, let's just name this MNQ Bulletproof. In the description, I'm just going to copy the title and put this here. You can do whatever you want, however you want to classify this for your own records, do what you want. Here are the things that you want to change in here. Style, systematic. Leave it as is. You don't need to change it to discretionary. Just leave it. It auto-populates as this. Your asset class directly relates to what sector you're trading in. What asset are you trading? Is it stocks, options, futures, or crypto? In this example, I'm doing futures, so I'm going to click this here. You could leave this at any ticker. I personally don't do that. I always do strategy set to one ticker on one account. So I go only selected ticker and type in MNQ. And I'll show you why this is important in just a second. On this screen here, I don't do anything else. I leave all these boxes checked. Notifications are completely preference and up to you. I don't like notifications. I don't need any extra emails. I already get enough, so I leave mine at none. But if you want everything, it's going to send you an email notification of when it entered, when it exited. If there's an issue, it will keep you in the loop. But if you set 14 alerts with 14 different accounts, you're getting one email per alert that fires. Your phone's going to sound like a wind chime. So for me, I leave this at no notifications. I don't change anything with security, and I just come down here and click save. Now, at this point, the strategy is saved and you need to start a subscription. You can come over here, click subscriptions, and just click new. Or while you're in here, simply click the subscribe button right here and it will take you to the next screen. So that's what I'm going to do here. It then brings you into the broker account that you linked right here, and you pick the account you want linked with the strategy you just made. You are subscribing your broker account, which we're in subscriptions, to your strategy. So this is the middle ground linking brokers to strategies to execution. So let's click our Traders Post paper and move on to the next screen. Once you click your account, you'll see this. No action items here. It's just confirming that you want to link this account in paper mode, futures, with this strategy right here. Simply click create. This then brings you into the actual subscription, and this is where the order details are important because this is what Traders Post is going to execute based on the webhook that we set from an alert over here on MNQ. I only keep popping back here to let you guys know we are linking the alert from this to Traders Post. So this section right here is the actual trade execution. This subscription page is the most important page because this is where your money is going to be made or lost, is this screen. So if there's one screen you mess up, don't let it be this one. The details at the top, this is kind of clunky. This is the name of our strategy. And then this is the name of our account that we linked. I, again, don't like this. So I just leave everything MNQ bulletproof. So when I see it, I know exactly what alert is tied to this account. The next thing you want to do right here is click this auto submit button, because is what this means is when an alert fires like this signal, the alert fires and it comes over to Traders Post, it's going to get the signal to either enter long or short if it's red and at the top. If you have this at manual submit, you are not automating anything because Traders Post will get the signal and then a pop up will come up and say, do you want to execute this trade? And you have to click approve or deny. That's not the goal of what we're doing here. So if you wanted something like that, you're better off just executing your trades over here if you're going to manually monitor it. We want automation, so we want auto submit. Traders Post will submit these trades on our behalf in TradingView, or with our broker, I should say. You then can see that this asset class populated from our strategy over here. We are on futures, but it did default to any ticker, and I only want this to run on MNQ. So I'm going to click only selected tickers and check my MNQ box. Connected broker is anything that you linked over here in the brokers section. So you want to click this and you can pick your account. If you have 6, 10, 50 accounts, whatever, you need to select the account that you want this strategy and this subscription to actually execute on. So that part is important because when you take all of this live, the trades that Traders Post is executing is going to whatever account you select right here. I only have one because it's Traders Post paper, so we'll leave it alone. But again, make sure you select the right account. Nothing to change on these boxes. If I change a box in this tab, I will tell you guys. Otherwise, assume everything is default as it shows up for you, because if I don't change it, no need for you to change it because my system is working. Again, it's redundant, but it asks you for notifications. Leave it at no. And then as you scroll down and you get here to sides, you can select, do you want to take both sides of the alerts? Do you want to take longs in green and shorts in red, or do you just want to take longs or just take shorts? That's what bullish and bearish would be. And Traders Post defaults to only taking bullish. If you don't change this to both, you will only be getting buy signals. You will not execute any sell signals. So it's important, if you want to take every signal automated from Bulletproof, that you leave this at both. Everything else in here stays the same as it defaulted to. Another thing you can set in here is a trading window. If you only want to trade, let's just say Los Angeles time frame, because I'm on Pacific Standard Time, I click add trading window and I only want to trade on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And I only want this to take trades in my local time zone, New York open until noonish. I then would just simply click America, Los Angeles, my time zone, select the days that I want it to trade and the time zone, and then click save. I don't do this, so I'm going to delete it, but this is how you would set, you only want it to trade Asia session in your time zone, only London session in your time zone, or New York in your time zone. The next section is position size. When you're in here, it defaults to none. meaning when the signal goes through, it's just going to send one contract. That's it. When I'm trading the M variations like MNQ, MGC, all of that, I change it to fixed and I trade 3. That's just what I like. So I change mine to fixed. You could put in 20 right here if you wanted to. But when it executes the trade, it's going to put 20 orders in at one time based on those signals. So again, I do 3. I'm going to leave it like that because this is just what I'm used to. I don't change anything else in here. Change it from none to fixed, set it to your number, leave it alone. When it comes to canceling orders, I don't do anything in here. I don't check this box. I don't enter a field. I just leave it alone. The next piece that's important is this entry right here. When it gets a signal, TradersPost is going to send your entry. If you have it at limit, it will be a limit order. I personally don't like limit orders, so I change mine to market, but this is preference. If you want to leave yours at a limit, by all means, leave it alone. But I change mine here to market, and then I don't change anything else in this tab. I leave everything else as default. I just simply change this one button. Now, as you would imagine, down here in the exit, you do the same thing. Since I'm doing a market order entry, I'm going to do a market order exit because it's what I prefer. Your preference is your own. You can leave it alone here. You can set any of these if you want. I just do market and move on. And then down here at the bottom in the retry section, I just leave it at no retries. If you want it to try a couple more times, if the signal fails, then you can, but I don't do anything with that. I leave it alone. So when we scroll back to the top, these are the things you need to pay attention to. We've entered in everything. We want to click save down here in the bottom left. Everything we just changed has been saved successfully, but sometimes TradersPost can be a little bit clunky. Right now, everything we just built is currently disabled up here in the top right. The next thing you need to do is you need to click this enabled button. Enabled will actually take this to where this strategy, when it gets a webhook, will execute the trade. I can't click this because I am not in a trial and I don't have a paid subscription on this plan specifically. So you guys can see when I click this, it brings me to a you must subscribe type thing. So the thing I want to bring to your attention is when you click this enabled button, sometimes auto submit clicks back over to manual submit. I'm not sure why. I think it's a TradersPost issue, but make sure after you enable this that this does not switch back because you may think you have everything set, and this happened to me like 3 different times. When I enabled, this defaulted back over. So click this once you have your account set up and whether you're on a trial or a paid subscription, and make sure the auto submit stays and it did not revert back to manual submit. So once you have this set up, your settings are saved. And also, if this does click over to manual submit, it would just be good process to make sure nothing else changed. This stays as both, this stays as fixed, and these stay as market if you're copying exactly what I have. If one of these settings changes, just re-verify everything with it being enabled. Now that you've done this, you are essentially done in TradersPost except one key thing. You want to come up here to this webhook button right here. When you click webhook, you are going to see your actual webhook, and you need this for TradingView. This very explicitly states keep this URL private. Anyone with this URL can send signals to your strategy. It's redacted, so I'm not worried about you guys seeing this, but you have to know 100%. If somebody sees this, they could potentially screenshot it, grab it, and then implement that into their own alert and be sending signals to your account that's linked to this. Do not ever share this with anybody. Nobody should ever ask you for this. So let's just leave this up right here because we're going to need it. So again, you get everything set, it's enabled, click webhook, and then you can stop right here in TradersPost and go back to TradingView. Now in TradingView, you want to right click the chart. Anywhere in the chart, just right click. It doesn't matter where, it pulls up the same menu, and you want to come down to this add alert on MNQ1. And it brings you to this screen right here. Symbols, you don't need to change anything in here at all. Leave it alone. The next one down is where you make your first change. Under condition, you want to click this. You then see price, which it defaults to, and then you actually see any indicator that you have set up here. I have volume, which is not highlighted, it's hidden, and then the bulletproof indicator. So I click my drop down of price and I scroll down to bulletproof version 1.0.2. The next one you want to click is right here, any alert function or call. As it currently stands right now, I'm filming this on Friday, January 9th. As of Sunday, January 11th, there will be another option down below this that just says bulletproof. If you click bulletproof, you only need to do this one time. But as it stands right now, you need to do this for Traders Post buy. So in order to buy, sell, and exit the long and exit the short, you need to do this alert 4 times. I know it's redundant, but when I release the indicator, the alert actually was sending the wrong signals out. Somehow it's a 700 line code in Bulletproof. So somehow the alert got messed up. So I reverted it back. So it meant for the first week of Bulletproof actually being out, everyone who wanted to automate it had to set 4 alerts per ticker, which was very annoying, but I have that fixed. And as of January 11th, you will just have one down below these 4 that is called Bulletproof. So, is what that means for this video. We're going to get to set this 4 times. So, you're going to see 4 different options of exactly how you walk through and set this up. So, by the end, you won't fail. So, again, after that explanation, this is all we've done in here: MNQ, Bulletproof, and then we're clicking any alert function or call and selecting our top option, Traders Post Buy. Now you can set this here as same as chart, which means for the interval, your time frame. I'm on the 1 minute time frame, so the indicator is going to be looking for signals like this one on the 1 minute to send an alert, and that alert is what we're creating right here. So leave this same as chart. If for some reason you're setting this looking at the 1 minute chart, but you really want it on the 5 minute, all you need to do is click this drop down, same as chart, and pick your time frame. But I don't know why you would be doing that. So we'll just leave it as same as chart so it matches. The next thing you want is in the trigger section. This says only once. You don't want that. You want to set this to once per bar close. And is what that means is this alert will fire right here once this bar closes. The reason that you want it to be once per bar close is sometimes these candles repaint. And is what that means is the bar and price action will be moving and this signal will pop, but then price will pull back a little and this signal will disappear. It repaints and paints, meaning it can appear and disappear until the candle closes. You want this to be at once per bar close. That way, once this signal has painted and it moves to the next bar, this is on here. It's not moving. The bar has closed. The alert fires. That's what you want over here. Depending on your TradingView plan that you have, you can set this out, I believe, up to a month, 2 months actually, to March 10th, or you can this as a never ending alert. It will just always be going. So you want to set it out as far as you can, click the button here, and then don't click create yet. We have more tabs to go through. You then want to click over to the message tab. You don't really need to do anything here because the indicator itself is putting in what it needs to for Traders Post. But if you use a different webhook, you will want to see what the actual message is. You then move on to notifications. If you're like me, I don't need more notifications. I have enough going on during the day as it is. So I actually turn off the notify in app and the toast notifications. The toast notifications are the little box that pops up in the bottom left or bottom right, wherever you have it set within TradingView. It's going to pop up and ping you every single time. And then Notify app is actually sending you the push notification to your mobile phone if you have the app installed on your phone. You guys may have seen when I first switched over to this that this webhook URL box was checked. I don't know if it did that by default or if you need to check it, but this is the field we want right here. We're not doing anything else in any of these notifications. You just want to come here. If this box is not checked, check it, and then a URL pops up. And now this is where you get your webhook from TradersPost. That's why we left this up. You've created your strategy, you've subscribed your account to it. All you need now to bridge this gap between TradingView and TradersPost is this link right here. So you simply click copy. You then, as you would imagine, paste it right here into the webhook URL, and then you are done in the alert section. You click create. On the right hand side, you can come up to the alarm clock and you can see under alerts, we now have the alert that we just made, MNQ. We can open this up and look at it as well. Bulletproof Traders Post buy 1 minute, once per bar close, pushed out as far as we can on expiration date. Nothing changed in here. And it has our URL to fire our trade from Traders Post. So we have completed the buy signal. We now need to do the sell signal. So again, anywhere on your chart, right click and go add alert on MNQ. You come down to price and select bulletproof. Any alert function or call, you now need to do the sell. We already did the buy. You just watched us do that. We now need to do the sell. Same as chart, change this to once per bar close. Change this date out as far as it will go. No action items in the message tab. And the action item here in notifications is the webhook. Now, I am a worrier. So I know I only have one alert, but if you have multiple alerts with multiple different webhooks, again, like I said, I'm a worrier. I still, every time, even though I know I don't need to do this, I do it anyways because I don't want anything to fail and I want it to be accurate. No matter what, I re-highlight my URL and I paste in my webhook. Maybe my anxiety gets the best of me, but I'm going to do it every single time on all four of these to show you guys. You then simply click create. Now on the alerts section on the right-hand side, we've created a buy and we've created a sell. We now need to get our exits. We need the exit signal for this. When these X's print right here, that's the exit signal, and that's what we need to make next. Because if we just left it at a buy and a sell, it's going to put us into a buy position, but then it's never going to exit, and we need our exits. So again, right click anywhere and go add alert. Condition right here, bulletproof. Any alert function call, traders post exit long. Your exit long is your buy exit. Your exit short is your sell exit. So we just need to sync them together essentially. If you do one, you need to do the other. Exit long, same as chart, once per bar close. And down here, push this out as far as you can. No action items in the message, notifications. Let's get our webhook again, paste it in, click create. Our last one, right click in the chart, add alert on MNQ, price, select bulletproof, any alert, exit short. We need our sell exit now. It's the only one we haven't done. Same as chart, once per bar close. Push this out as far as you can. No action items in the message tab. Notifications. Let's get our URL one more time. Causes a couple extra clicks, but helps me not stress, so it's worth it to me. And then you click create. So now at this point, over here in our alerts section, you can see we have buy, we have sell, we have the action exit for the buy and action exit for the sell. You can see on the left-hand side, it pops up traders post exit long. This is in conjunction with this one. Traders post exit short. This is in conjunction with this one. We have our entries. We have our exits. Your traders post page should look exactly like this, with the only exception being this should say enabled. You should have auto submit, whatever asset class you're using, whatever ticker you're using, the correct account that you want the trade to execute to. This should be both sides if you want to take the longs and the shorts. Trading window, if you want a trading window, you can see I removed mine. Position size, fixed 3 or whatever number of contracts you want to execute when the signal fires. Personal preference down here, I changed mine from limit to market. Again, the preference is yours, however you want to trade. Limits, markets, stop limit, whatever you prefer. And then same with the exit. Market for me, nothing in retries. Click save one more time. And again, the only difference on this page that you should see that I don't have, because this is not a paid one, this is just my video test account, this should say enabled. When you come back to your dashboard and your accounts are active and you are in a trade, Traders Post right here will actually have numbers, whether you positive or negative. You can then click into your account, and up here it will keep a running tab of your P&L. They look a little bit different when they're not paper accounts. When it's an actual account, up here there's a number and it says plus or minus P&L, your daily P&L. So this looks a little bit different just simply because it's paper, but you can see down here in the bottom left, it saved a couple things along the way once I've clicked into my account, and you can see MNQ bulletproof. Take both sides on one ticker, meaning this is set up to only take MNQ. And the only difference that you should see on yours versus what you see in here on mine is this should say enabled for you if this is live. If it says disabled like this, it just means that this will not fire any signals no matter what the alerts do. So futures enabled, auto submit. You have now set up automation on MNQ. You can then go through and recreate this for any ticker you want. I have 9 automations running in Traders Post right now, and I have 6 running in Ghost. So if you want to do this, you just simply go through and you recreate exactly what we just did. We've done MNQ. You then want to go new strategy and go through and then type in MES, MGC, whatever you want, and go through this exact process that we just did with any accounts that you link down here in your brokerage. Again, you can do this with any indicator. It doesn't have to just be bulletproof. Any indicator that allows when you right click and go to alert and has an alert built into it down here for a condition, you can automate any indicator that you get for TradingView. I hope you guys found this helpful, and I hope this will help bridge the gap of manual trading to automating. And again, like I said, Traders Post is a temporary solution. When Ghost rolls out, it will be a full automation bot brought to you by QuantCrawler. And I have tested this myself. It will perform better than TradersPost. It's more efficient, it's faster, and it's more detailed with more options of what you can do when it comes to controlling your trades on an automation level.